Hey everyone, so I'm back with another Bond collectible today. As I said in my previous video detailing the Lego Aston Martin, been a bit quiet on the merchandising front as of late, so I haven't really released any new videos on that front. First and foremost, my channel was set out to be a video detailing the collectibles in the Bond world, so that's what I've chosen to focus on for the time being. So I thought I'd share with you this, which is yet another Aston Martin DB5 model, and a Corgi car, no less. Corgi are renowned for their many different versions of the Aston Martin DB5. This one is particularly special though, and I'm really pleased with this one. This is produced by Corgi for the Corgi Model Club. So they've recently been producing as near to exact replicas of the original 1960s versions of the model cars. And this I was particularly drawn to due to its James Bond theme. So this is a replica of model 261. So originally released in 1965. This was obviously designed to tie in with the film of Goldfinger. It was rushed into production. They wanted to build on the success of Goldfinger and the fact, obviously, the car would go on to feature again in 1965's Thunderball as well. What is interesting with this model, and has always been a quirk of this model, is that despite the Aston Martin being its famous silver birch colour, the model itself is obviously gold. The story goes, I believe, is that the manufacturers and Corgi wanted to obviously tie it in with the gold theme of Goldfinger, so produced a gold car as a result. Now this model is one of Corgi's most famous models from across the years. So although there's obviously an interest for me in the fact it's a piece of James Bond merchandise, Corgi collectors in general find this car is very much sought after and can go for thousands of pounds if you get an original. Obviously, unfortunately, it was a toy model car, so lots of people who got the car at the time used it, played with it, and tested it to destruction. Lost the little plastic figure that sits inside and goes onto the ejector seat, and obviously there's not many mint versions left, hence its collectability. So I thought I'd just crack this open. It's really small in size, so what I thought I'd do to compare it is compare it with a release that Corgi put out a few years back to tie in with the 50th anniversary of Goldfinger. So you can see already the size difference, and that's reflected in the scale of the car as well. But Corgi Model Club do pride themselves in releasing as close to an authentic original as they can. So they've definitely done the research and produced a really high quality collectible. So if we crack it open, it's tricky to do without ripping the box. Now, no doubt you've seen these figures on eBay going for lots and lots of money, so you'll have an idea of the way the packaging works. Yeah, the way it comes about then is it comes with a little display, basically. Now, again, Corgi have attempted to replicate this design in the past, not least, again, you'll notice with that recent release for the Goldfinger anniversary, they've nicked the artwork from the package there, as well as the kind of retro detailing. But again, with this model, it is as exact as it can be from the original from 1965. We get a pretty small scale car. Now, what's interesting with this one is, first of all, we've obviously got the original gold colour, which does apparently match exactly the original. We've got a nice fitting red interior, again in keeping with the original car. Now, Corgi did release their own version of the 261 a couple of years ago. I didn't buy it myself because, to be honest, I've had DB5 overkill now. But what's interesting is that Corgi didn't attempt to make it all too special. So, for instance, they left on the revolving number plate, which obviously featured on more recent versions of the model. And most Corgi cars involving the Aston Martin DB5 will have a license plate of some description. Obviously, the No Time to Die tie-in just had the Italian registration. Older versions, while they have the revolving number plate as featured in Goldfinger. This one, no number plate, and again that's fitting with the original 60s model. Now it's got rubber wheels as well, which is a nice addition, not plastic, which again I've been assured the Corgi re-release did have plastic wheels, so again not in keeping with the original. And it does come with its gadgets, and again it's quite cutting edge for the time it was made. So this button on the side here, that releases the machine guns and battering rams. And click back into place. Then we've got the bulletproof shield there, which you can press activate by pressing the exhaust, like so. And we do have the famous ejector seat, which is deployed by this button here. And to be honest, the features on here haven't really changed that much in the more recent models. So if you have bought an Aston Martin with all the gadgets, not all of the DB5 models that Corgi release come with all of the appropriate gadgets. But if they do tend to be released in a similar sort of way. So this button here will release the ejector seat. And the man goes flying. I've got to admit, there's quite an impressive range on that. So you can imagine these didn't last too long and got a bit battered and bruised. We've got a model of Bond inside there as well. And the Unlucky Henchman, again, the original design from 1965. And then you just pop them back in and reset, like so. So yeah, it's an impressive little model. It cost me 20 quid. If you sign up to the Model Club, you get it for £20. It is available on the website for 36, I believe, so you can buy it outright without signing up to the club. But they also admit on their website that you can sign up to the club and there's no commitment, you can cancel at any time. So it's up to you whether you sign up for the club and pay a little bit less and then perhaps get some more cars in the collection if you are into your vintage models, or alternatively you can buy it outright for £36. Now, there are some top secret documents inside here. They're also detailed on the back, so they're not too secret because they do clearly signpost you to where they are located. Inside here, again, they've gone for as near a replica as possible. First of all, you do get the all-important spare man that sits in the Unlucky Henchman seat. But you also then get your secret instructions, which again, models in the past have featured this in some form, but again, the Corgi Model Club have gone to great lengths to ensure they've replicated it as closely as possible to the original. And inside here, you first of all get some instructions on how the different features work, so making it clear that you load the man in and then you press the button to launch it. And then you've also got then your bulletproof screen at the back there and your overriders and machine guns. You also get a little sticker as well, again a replica of that from 1965, and the instructions suggest you can put it out of sight on your lapel and you can reveal it to others as a secret identification. So all in all, a really nice model. Nice small scale as well, and of all the Aston Martins I own, this is probably one of the better ones that I've got, if not for its links to the past and the fact that this is as close to the 1965 model that I'm going to get as some sort of affordable level. Just to compare it against other releases, So as I mentioned, this was the re-release in 2014 to tie in with the 50th anniversary of Goldfinger. Now I didn't get the gold version of this. They released a silver and a gold version. I was a bit slow off the mark. The gold version was then going for over 150 quid. The silver version was a lot more affordable. So yeah, for this one here, I haven't fully taken it out of its packaging. What is interesting is you do get these secret instructions in a slightly different format, so a slightly different fold on that. And then the car itself, which if I try my best to compare it with the Corgi Model Club version, they are slightly different in scale. Try and get them from above view. Yes, the exact replica is somewhat smaller than the Goldfinger re-release. Like I say, I haven't bought the Corgi release from a couple of years ago, which was designed to be the replica of the 261, mainly because I just couldn't justify buying another DB5 at Corgi's now inflated prices, so I chose not to get it in the end. You'll notice this one though, it does have the slightly bigger front grille compared to the Corgi Model Club version, and if you can just make up there, it does have the revolving number plate, which again does not fit in with the original model. The bulletproof screen is somewhat different in design as well, so that one is slightly different looking in terms of the metal it's made from. So all in all, again, somewhat different. They also re-released in 2015 as well to tie in with Thunderbolt. There were two different versions again for this. So we've got the silver version and the gold version. I got in quick on these. Turns out then the gold version did not go for as much as the Goldfinger versions did. To be honest, there's no point showing too much detail here because they are pretty much identical to the Goldfinger re-release. And this is where I know Corgi have really pushed it in terms of re-releasing DB5s, but this took the biscuit a little bit, and I learnt my lesson after this to not buy any that were just exact replicas of each other. I could justify this one because it is somewhat different. And again, if I put them side by side, again, sorry, I haven't taken out the plastic. It's slightly difficult to tell. But I would say, again, the Corgi Model Club version is somewhat smaller length and width-wise. And you can hopefully notice some differences there. So if you want the optimal version of the Aston Martin DB5 from the 60s, this is definitely the one to go for. If you do sign up for the Model Club itself, it does come with some nice extra bits and pieces. So you do get a tin to contain your certificates of authenticity. I feel a little bit bad that I won't be keeping the collection going unless they do release any further James Bond models. I'll certainly be first in queue then. But I can't justify collecting some vintage Corgi models as well as keeping my James Bond collection up to date as well. In here, I think I've already popped my certificate for the DB5. And you can see they are numbered as well, which is a nice touch. And you also get a replica of the Corgi 1966 catalogue as well. And you can see there the Aston Martin features quite prominently and does feature on the first page of the guide, which again details all the working features there. And again, interestingly, they advertise it as a silver car, both on the front and in the catalogue itself. So it's interesting that you go out and buy that and then end up with a gold car. But it's a nice little quirk from history there. So if you're interested, check out the Corgi Model Club website. If you're into vintage Corgi models in general, they do have other models available, and they are going to be rolling out more as time goes on. From what I can understand, it's quite a recent thing they've started rolling out, so they haven't got a huge back catalogue at the moment from what I can figure out, so do check them out. I'm hoping, and I have asked the question as to whether they will be releasing more James Bond vintage models in the near future, so I will post some further information about that if I get it. But do keep a look at my website if that's of interest at all. So I hope that's been of interest to you, and yeah, do order if you want as close to an original 1965 Aston Martin DB5 as possible.